Welcome everyone. So why we have to fast for 3 days? Ideally when we design this fruit fasting program, like we all have to graduate from practicing fasting, as this is one of the way of removing toxin not only physically as well as from a spiritual form. We always kept that magical number 3 days, and we kept it on a Ekadasi, that is that 11th day of the moon cycle. So the reason is when you start on the 11th day, obviously the 13th day would be Pradosham. So that is also a very important day. So when you start an Ekadashi where you work on cleansing your spinal cord as well as the 20 feet, the digestive, the gut is almost like 20 feet, the intestine. So it will take long time to remove all the toxins outside. Just because by one day you're fasting or skipping 3 meals in a day, complete things would not happen. So you're allowed to give a couple of 2-day cycle. So that it works on a physical level, it needs some time. So 2 days of sleep and daytime, and that will slowly bring all the things out, and you will feel some new energy inside you. And people who have done it for 3 days can see the magic on their 4th day. They feel much more lighter and lot more focused on it. So that is why we practice on a 3-day. One is to spiritually take advantages of Ekadasi, which cleanses the unmanifested karmas in the spinal cord which is stored. And number 2 is it comes to an end on a Pradosham time. Pradosham is like a twilight time which is standard across the globe, somewhere around 4:30 to 6. If you look deeper into it, you have to calculate according to the sunset, but you can keep it safer like 4:30 to 6. It's a time, neither it is a day, neither it is a night time. So it is in that in-between time, it's somewhere after that 6 you start the twilight. You have a civil twilight, nautical twilight, astronomical twilight. Some people call it sweet light or golden light, photographers call it. So that's a magical time where most of your things your impressions or your which is stored deep can be reset. So if you take the word Pradosham, Dosham means sin, Pradosham means cleansing the sin. So it is like a daily, whenever knowingly, unknowingly, whatever negative emotions you accumulate in your body, that is the time you can go and do certain spiritual practice to cleanse it. People who know meditation can do meditation. People who know Pradosham spiritual practice can do that. So mostly if you take the temple, or if you take any of the religion, mostly that evening time and the early morning sunrise time, that is the time they do all kinds of offering, prayers, rituals. So that is a time for reset. You can actually take a break and do chanting, or you can do meditation. Any practice that will have a lot more deeper effect. Plus on that whole day of any impressions that you have stored in your conscious, you can let it go then and there only. That is why it's called Pradosham, cleansing of sin. Again, it is not on a very specific day. Every day it is counted, or there are multiple divisions. You can do every day according to the day. There are a lot of significance towards it. If it is on a Saturday, it is called Mahapradosham or Sani Pradosham, which is even more powerful on that day. And you have Tidhi based, that is according to the moon cycle. You have monthly. Like that, there are multiple types of Pradosham, but ideally you can always remember that 4:30 to 6:30 is a beautiful time where you can cleanse off all the known and unknown impressions that you have stored, and you can completely send it off. Otherwise, it gets into your body, it goes into your deeper conscious when you are in the sleep, and then it stores as a pattern in neuron in your body. At later point of time, it will start manifesting. You will start working towards it, or it will store in your DNA. It will go to the next generation. So this is like an internal quick mechanism, or like in a computer language, like clearing your cache or cleaning your RAM in your body. So the Pradosham is the equivalent to a RAM in our body that you can do it. So that is why in the ancient times they have told us they connected with the god stories, like Shiva was consuming poison in the Pradosham time, and that's where it stopped in the neck and didn't go into the body. Technically what they were trying to explain to the people here is whatever negative thoughts or positive things, toxic things you assume, it is at the Pradosham time that is where you can stop it at maybe not in the throat or anything, and it doesn't go deeper into your conscious or get stored into it. So that is why they said they created a history around it, and they were telling it. And this particular process of discovering that this is a very magical time, a Pradosham, where you can cleanse many of your things, that is what is discovered by one of the Siddhas called as Nandigeshwarar. So that is why even on Pradosham in Hindu temple, they spend a lot of time. First they worship the Nandi goddess and they take it forward. So that is the reason behind it. And now eventually we forgot the story and we got carried away with the practice. But this is the another meaning that you will have to understand from it. So that is why we always target that from Ekadasi till that Pradosham, like 3 days, you will ideally cover from spinal cord cleansing towards the day-to-day cleansing which is there in your thought process. That is the reason behind 3 days secret that I've been pushing everyone for it, and we will be using that 3 days as a benchmark for any of those fasting practices. I hope I've clarified your doubts, and let's continue our discussion. As I said, we do track all the queries and topics. Anything which is of interesting, anything which I know, I usually make a video, or if I don't know, we'll ask somebody to make for it, so that we'll have further interactive sessions among us. Okay, thank you, and I'll see you in another interesting video. Bye.